Hi, everyone. Ryan here, Ion Capital Solutions. Thanks so much for being here with us today. Today, I have one of our new students, Mark Heckman. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Way to do it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to hop in here with me. Today's video, I really just want to share your experience with new prospective students considering joining the program. Um, and really just to legitimize what it is that we're doing here. A warranted concern of anybody, and even one that you had before you joined us, was who are these guys? Are they really doing what they say they're going to do? What was that initial experience going to be like? And then what was it like when you went through it? Right? We claim we fund deals. We claim to have sources of funding. Is this true? Is it not true? Right? These are the questions everyone has. And again, they're warranted. It's reasonable. And so given your experience and quickly to funding a deal, and I think it's a good opportunity to show people that, hey, this is really what we're doing. And I really do appreciate you helping out on that front. So thank you.
Yeah, no, happy to do it.
Yeah. So, Mark, tell me a little bit more. When did you join us? What was it? 4 or 5 weeks ago now?
Yeah, maybe 2 months, but inside of that.
Almost 2 months. Inside of 2 months, I'd say. Right? Okay.
Mhm.
And I remember you had deals that you wanted to fund right away coming in, right? And
Yes.
we got your deal funded. Yes, your client.
First one, and I've got two more in the pipeline. Yep.
Right? Absolutely. And how long after you joined did we get your client funding? I believe it was within 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at least approved, maybe 3 weeks to get the money in the bank account. But yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yep.
is correct.
Yep. Absolutely. And what we used was credit card stacking for that client.
Yeah, in that case, it was an S-lock deal. Yep.
Yes, exactly. And so, the process was we collected the report for the client, right? We helped them avoid the hard pull on their score. We leveraged the report. They were applied for several cards, which were stacked together, right? We got our percentage of what the total credit limit was, and bang, there it was. Now, not only did we get your client funded, but you also know exactly who the source is and now have a partnership with the source of funds, correct?
Yes, and the two deals that I have pending are directly with the source.
Yes. And do you need us for that anymore, or do you have it?
I mean, just for emotional support, but no, I can go direct to them, and that's been great too.
Yeah, great. Which is important. I think anybody watching, considering, well, hey, if I submit deals to Ion and I have a split with Ion, now I'm just stuck submitting deals to Ion. No, that's not the case. Day one, you're introduced to who the lender is. You learn on the deal. You wrap your head around the process. Now you go partner directly with the lender. You net 100% commissions. You're on your way, right? So, would you say at the very least we've delivered on what we said we were going to do when we first spoke?
Yeah, very much so. The available resources, the one-on-one support in these phone call environments, and then the commitment to say, "Hey, we'll handhold with you if you want to join up on deals, but the second you feel comfortable embarking direct to partners, that you are not only encouraging it, but then supportive after the fact."
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like my approach now is as I come across vehicles that maybe I haven't done one yet,
Mm-hmm.
I'll come through Ion, get a repetition or two, meet a new partner or two. But for ones that I feel comfortable with, I'm creating the partnerships directly, and I can get the full credit for the commission.
Absolutely. And that's really the point. We're not just focused on people funneling their flow through us. We're focused on making sure that you actually become that standalone, self-sufficient, and sustainable broker, right? And the reason we do that is because it builds trust, it builds transparency, and then we know with a positive experience with future deals, with products that you may not be familiar with, you're going to be comfortable sending that deal to us because you know you're going to learn. You know you're going to learn who the source is. Even if it takes more than one deal to wrap your head around it, you're going to be able to do it on your own. And so again, we're doing what we said we're going to do. And the deals do get a lot more complex. And so for us, listen, at the end of the day, we're all here to make money, right? We're in it for money. We want to make cash. But for us, we care about the deal flow. Yes, there's a small amount of cash it costs to get into the program, but very quickly you make that money back, right? And then it's just about the profits, and we know through the journey of you learning, you're going to earn, we're going to earn, everybody wins, and that's the way that we do things here. Now, I do want to shift gears a little bit, Mark, and talk just a bit about what we've been talking about before this call, right? Which was these large commercial real estate projects. That is a shift that we're taking Ion Capital Solutions in, and what the future is for Mark. As you can see, Mark is already focused on his deal flow. He likes the credit card stacking product for his clients. There's certainly other products he's going to be utilizing, but I'm pushing you. Am I not? I'm trying to push you in a different direction. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I already had a business prior to joining this network, and I was mostly looking for ways to come up with products that were add-ons that, serve my clients who were small and startup businesses trying to capitalize. So the kind of origin story of the Ion products were a good fit. But as Ion migrates into maybe with more of a commercial real estate focus, what it does for me is it gives me an expansionary opportunity within my existing portfolio where it's like, hey, I have something new and different and interesting to talk to you about. But then it also is kind of fire under the butt to go and network into new opportunity zones where, hey, I am with a trusted partner. They're already doing deal flow here. There's a good basis for me to show track record for anyone that is not, used to working with me, but that I can lean on Ion as a dependable portion of that capitalization project. So I'm excited for venturing into something new. I always am looking for new territory to wade into. This seems like a good one.
Absolutely. So, and to give a little more context here, we don't want anybody joining our program to get comfortable with what they're already doing. It's great to wrap your head around a product, and a lot of people have a mindset of, well, I should be niche, right? I should focus on a particular industry, a particular product, and really wrap my head around that and focus in on that. But we do not want to be a one-trick pony, for lack of a better, phrase. We want to have a lot of different tools in our arsenal as we approach the marketplace. And at the end of the day, it is a competitive marketplace. So how are you separating yourself? You got to be able to identify your competition, what other products that could be available to clients, what you're dealing with in order to truly consult with the client and separate yourself. The other side of things is understanding where your time is best spent to earn the most money possible. And so Mark has a skill set that he brings to the table. He has a skill set that we're developing, but ultimately we want to take him into a different position to where he can focus on larger deals that bring in larger commissions. Because at the end of the day, what we all really care about is money. What we all really care about is elevating our positioning, right? And the truth of the matter is, commercial real estate deals, the commissions are absurdly large. I mean, a lot of people in this space are focused on merchant cash advances, hard money loans for purchases on the real estate side. And sure, you hear about, credit card stacking or equipment financing or, whatever, these other products in the area surrounding your unsecured funding with the merchant cash advance. Or in the hard money, area for real estate, you hear maybe about transactional funding or whatever it may be. But that's really where a lot of people like to play. And, maybe they're doing some SBAs or whatever else, but that's about it. But what they're not realizing is leverage when it comes to clients that don't qualify for funding means you can make a lot of money, but you have to understand and have connections to sources of funds that are willing to fund deals that don't qualify. In other words, anybody can go sign up with OnDeck, right? A very well-known merchant cash advance lender. Anybody can go sign up with Finance of America, right? A very well-known hard money lender in the real estate investment space. But the problem is these lenders look at a deal and they're like, does it qualify or not, right? But when you have a real fund behind you that thinks and uses common sense, they look at a deal where maybe the credit score is not there, right? Maybe there's liens, maybe there's judgments, maybe there's problems with deals, maybe there's a time crunch, whatever it is, but that means there's leverage. You don't have competition, and therefore you have an opportunity to lock up the client and have a deal that you don't have to compete with other brokers on. But more importantly, you have the leverage to be able to communicate a strong position with the client, i.e. points on the deal, what you want to charge, as well as getting an equity percentage of the project. And what I mean by that is you're not giving somebody $40,000. You're giving somebody $5 million, $10 million, $100 million. and you're getting 1 or 2 points on that loan amount. That's a lot of money, right? On a if it was a $5 million deal and you're getting 1 point, that's 50 grand in your pocket. If it's 2 points, it's 100 grand in your pocket, and that's just at closing. Then on the equity side of things, whatever the exit is in the project, right? They're remodeling into condos, or it's a vertical, or whatever it may be. When they go to sell off that inventory and you get an equity position for yourself, let's say 10% of that exit is yours, that profit, and it's a $20 million exit, 10 million of which is profit, and you have 10% of that's $1 million that goes to you. It's a totally different ball game. And so that's really what Ion, our focus and shift is now, is focusing on these deals. And students that are part of our program, we are trying to change your thinking and your direction of what you're focusing and targeting on, because you can make a great deal more money. And Mark and I were talking before this call, and I was stating that for myself, I've been at this now a long time, almost 12 years. This is where I'm at in the end stages of my career, and moving on from these baseline products and lenders that everybody works with, and to the next level where I'm using leverage. And it's not just commercial real estate. We're working with publicly traded companies. I'm doing crypto deals. I'm doing debentures and leverage buyouts, and you name it, acquisitions, because I've learned where the money is, instead of just trying to fund somebody with a merchant cash advance. That if you want to go to another program and learn about that, you're welcome to do that. You're going to struggle. You're going to be frustrated. You have to fund lots of deals to hope and pray that you can make enough cash. So anyway, don't want to go off on a tangent, but the point is, if you're looking for people that do what they say they're going to do, and if you're looking for people who actually work in the industry and make money doing what it is we're teaching you to do, and if you're looking for people that are current in the marketplace and know where to focus and how to elevate, that's what we do here for Ion. And that's what we can do for you. And so, Mark, again, I really do appreciate you coming in here and just validating the process, and that we do what we say we're going to do. And because I think it's important, people want, trust at the end of the day, and they want to feel like the person they're working with is actually going to do what they say they're going to do. So in your own words, Mark, how would you say the experience has been for you? And also, would you recommend Ion to other people that might be interested in joining?
Yeah, this is easy. So I was able to cover the expense of joining with my second deal. So as far as payback on the investment in the second month, it's already paid for and more. And that's using some of these much more commodity vehicles that we're hopefully migrating away from. But hey, chunk money is good. It's always good to stack some of those checks. But so from a financial perspective, that you have all this upside into the future and you can still make good money in the meantime is great, and definitely delivers on the promise. But it's that support into the education and kind of the networking into the partnerships that you don't yet have, to where when I meet the person on the street that's doing a retail renovation for a new storefront or something, and it's like, hey, I belong in this conversation, even though I've never done a rehab project, but I have something that I can bring to the table with this group. So just automatically opens me up to say more, learn more, share more. And that's where economic opportunity comes from. But then I can always gut check that stuff against what's Ion Resources, what would they currently give me as far as what the market is providing, schedule call with Ryan. So it's like, hey, here's what I'm up against here. What would you recommend? That's not, you don't pay extra for that. It's available pretty much within 24 hours, maybe even less, depending on Ryan's schedule. That type of availability and support, it becomes such a huge value add. And I doubt you're going to find that some other program. So, yeah, I just don't have anything but good things to say about the program.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think one of the things that I hear a lot from people too is, hey, I'm actually talking to and working with the guy in the video, right? And that's
Yeah.
me. And you and I have worked together, have we not, on deals?
This is probably our, 7th or 8th phone call. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's
Sure.
important to people, and that's because here at Ion, we're growing our own, and we're working with you on an intimate level to ensure that you get where you're going. You know, we don't onboard 200 people a month. You're never going to see me run an ad to try and bring in the masses where we're just trying to make our money by earning tuitions from people coming in. We're way more focused on the back end of the business, which is funding deals. So as Mark just said, you're getting a lot of attention from us when you join because we want you to be a source of deal flow for us, which is exactly where our head should be. Because at the end of the day, you bringing deals here and funding deals means the program is working and you're making money. And that's what you care about. That's what you want, right? And if we're honest and we're transparent at the end of the day and we're revealing sources and we're helping you become independent, you don't have to worry because at the end of the day, it's not predatory. We're not trying to hijack your deal flow, right? Everybody's operating in good faith and being respectful of one another. So anyway, that's really it. That's what I wanted to talk about on today's call. And again, Mark, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for doing that. And I'm excited about what the future holds for us here. And what's next for Mark and I is we're going to spend some time together talking about these larger deals and what these prospects look like and how he can connect with them and what the dialogue needs to be. And then Mark will be a fly on the wall and he'll sit there and he'll be on these calls and he'll see and hear how we do things and conduct business, and he will level up and soon be able to handle these calls on his own and build a pipeline of these deals where he can earn a great deal more money. But the only reason Mark's able to do that is because he took the initiative and he put himself in a position to succeed. And he followed through and he invested in himself. And here he is getting results. So if you want those results, if you're in a position where you're struggling or you just simply want to level up, we're here for you. Okay. So thanks everybody for watching. Mark, again, thank you so much for being here. Everybody take care and we'll catch you in the next video.